Indiana State head coach Greg Lansing. Coach, opening remarks, any questions?
Congratulations to Northern Iowa getting the 3 seed. I knew they'd come in here and give us one of their best games, and they certainly did. Love competing against them, and Jake, who's a good friend of mine, and I congratulate him on being Northern Iowa's all-time winningest coach today. I really think we fought awfully hard. We did a lot of good things. I thought the game was lost at the start of the game. I think we were a little tentative. Told the guys they were like heavyweight boxers, and they're feeling each other out, just kind of jabbing and moving around the middle of the ring. And in the second half, with our turnovers to start the second half. So it seemed like we were fighting uphill a lot during the game. We're doing a lot. We were better today. We competed harder today. But to beat a really good team, you have to finish with some toughness and some competitiveness. They got too many easy opportunities. We did it, 3/4 of the time, if not more. We did a really good job defensively, but they just got too many easy ones, and that happens when you got really good players like they have. But I'm disappointed for our seniors. I'm disappointed for our fans that we couldn't get this one today. But we are what we are. We're the 2nd seed. We're going to go to St. Louis and give it everything we have and get better this week. And I think we got the guys back to playing the way they need to play. We just got to play a little better.
Questions?
Greg, that shot hit probably every part of the cylinder, went down, it came out. I mean, just describe your feeling.
As soon as he let go of it, I knew it was going in. I thought it was going to be the perfect ending to his career in the Holman Center. I really wanted it bad for him. That's what hurts. You feel bad for Jake because I know how competitive he is, and that'll just beat him up. That'll beat him up for a lot. But it was a great look. They did exactly what we kind of wanted to do at the time out there when they had the miss. Jake got a great look at it, and it was they're soft. I don't know how it came out. We got to the basket. DeJuan got the basket. We had a tough call there. I'll have to wait and see it on video, but that was a tough block charge. And then DeJuan got to the basket a couple more times. He just didn't convert, and then they Tuttle get an easy one. So good game against 2 good teams fighting awfully hard.
Did you get an explanation from the rest, or did you talk to him about that charge call? I mean, it was so close.
Yeah,
to the
I asked Z at the timeout, and he's right there on top of it. What I asked him was, I thought he was in the circle, and he said he was not in the circle. I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know if he was set or how close it was. Those are tough calls, those are tough calls, and the officials don't have an easy job. But that's one where they're trying to clean it up this year. More often than not, you're hoping to get that block, but we didn't.
Some of the shots in the last 3 minutes, it was almost like they wanted it to. The offense had been flowing a little bit better, and then it's like they wanted it so bad. There was a few shots that were forced in there.
Yeah, we did. We were a little quick, but it is. DeJuan and Manny and Christian, you want them making plays. It was the turnovers more than anything earlier than the half that hurt us. I don't mind him. About called a timeout the one time that DeJuan kind of forced up one, but he drove his guys, got his feet to the paint. I was ready to burn a timeout there to call something, but it's tough to do when a guy gets in there deep. He probably just shouldn't have shot that. And he's right at the rim on that transition one. That can make or break you right there. Just didn't get it in, and then they turn around and get an easy one at the other end. Guys were trying hard, but you're right. Our offense was going pretty good. We're moving the ball. That they defend a lot like us, so the ball's got to move, and you got to get some reversals, and we did a much better job with it the second half. It's just the turnovers that hurt us.
Christian had 15. Where do you think his game has evolved most this season? Where do you think he may have even improved most this season? So,
well, I always talk about the stuff he does best for us is at that defensive end with his communication and his energy. He loves coming off the bench. He's a starter, basically, for us. He's a 6th man of the year, as far as I'm concerned. I hope he gets it. So I always look at that first. But he really works hard on his game. And he's got a lot of improving to do. He's got holes in his game, but he is one that's going to work on it. He loves the game. He loves to get in the gym on his own and work. So he's going to continue to improve in all aspects. His hands, the way he handles the ball. But he's going to be a leader. You look at him and Devontae. As hard as those guys compete, they're going to be leaders for this team next year. And we lose 4 good seniors, but you feel good about what you have coming back.
Coach, how do you tell the kids the last week hasn't been who you guys are? You start fresh next week, and then the 3 most important games of the season for you guys. How do you get that message to them?
Yeah, it's not a collapse. I'll just say that we're not collapsing. I really give the guys a little bit of excuse. Being 18 to 22-year-olds, you're locked into that spot. I think we coasted a little bit, and that comes on me. It doesn't come on them. That's what to be expected. I haven't been as hard driving in practices on it, so probably that affects us in game. But I was really trying to be more rested at the end of this year, and I think we are. I think we're good and healthy going into St. Louis. But we floated around a little bit. We weren't competing like we needed to, and we did today. We just didn't play quite enough. And I think Jake said it best. You know, they've accomplished some of the goals that they had set, and their other one was make it to the NCAA tournament. That's still out there. You know, I think only last year in Indiana State history have we been considered an enlarged team towards the end of the year. You know, that's no different this year. It's tough, and the Missouri Valley isn't getting the respect, and we didn't do what we needed to do. You know, we are what we are, and I'm excited to practice this week and get ready to go down there and give it everything we got.
Greg, you gave TJ Bell a bit of a chance today, and I don't know if Kitch's illness had something to do with that, but just talk about how he played. He kind of hung in there.
He did, you know, and the reason why, I'll tell you this, we stat every practice, and his stats were a lot better than Kitch and Demetrius's this week. He got some stuff done, hasn't hung his head. You know, he's kept trying in practice and doing those things, and he's look forward to his future, you know, if he continues to improve. But he earned it in practice, so we threw him out there, and he was very productive in the minutes.
Talk about this not being a collapse. Back-to-back years, you guys have struggled there in the last 5 games of the season. Where do you know, people ask that question, how is this not a collapse? I know you touched on it, but.
Well, you guys can say all that stuff you want. You know, you guys have to, in the media, you have to do that, whether it be Twitter or some unhappy fans. I mean, when I said when I got the job that I want the community to take ownership of this, and I've talked to Todd about it before, I've talked to Rick about it before. It is what it is. You know, we lost 2 road games against 2 really good teams that are fighting for 3rd place. There's nothing. Missouri State and Illinois State can win the tournament. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with losing to those teams. UNI is a really good team. They got as good a shot as winning it as anybody. So you don't want to lose 3 in a row. Last year we're on the bubble, and Manny was out those last 2 games where you probably win the Drake game here, and you go to Wichita or go to Evansville feeling better about yourself. People can say what they want. That's their opinion. You can say what you want. That's your opinion. 21 wins, you know, for the 20 wins for the 5th time in school history in the 38 years. Not a bad conference season. You'd like to win. If we'd have won this, I think, you know, no people wouldn't say that kind of stuff. But if they say that, that's fine. But that's not going to bother us going to St. Louis.
Do you think the nature of today's game, even though it was a loss, because some of the things got a little bit better, you know, in terms of offensively, even some.
You know, that's what I was looking for. This is what I was looking for, Todd. It really was. You know, I'm a tough self-critic, and I blame myself for a little bit for how we've been, and we've coasted a little bit. We got settled in that 2nd seed, and their guys were like, hey, let's just get to St. Louis. You know, let's fast forward all this stuff. And we didn't play well enough to win these games, but we fought today. We were competitive today against a very good team playing awfully well. Could have gone the other way, but it didn't, and we're still where we're at in the 2nd seed. So the competitiveness and fighting like you need to, that was much better today. We just got to play a little better.
Anything else, guys?
I know it's very a lot to say in a little, but can you just talk about what made Jake so special, so effective, and such a great leader here?
His ticker, you know, his guts, his intestinal fortitude, if you would. He's competitive as anybody I've ever seen and ever been around. I liken him a lot to Jeff Horner, who I coached when I was at Iowa, and then Matt and Michael, those 2 guys. It's all about competing and fighting against the opponent, going at each other, and more than anything else, he wants his team to win. I've seen Jake struggle mightily, but he's as happy as anybody in a win, and I've seen him carry us at times a lot on the offensive end and doing everything he can, laying his body out there in a tough loss, and it doesn't matter how good he played. He is more disappointed than anybody. And one of the things he said there too just speaks a lot of Jake. And being from here and accomplishing the thing, he's always got people talking about Jake, and he appreciates his teammates and how they've handled it with him, because he has always been a team first guy. I'm telling you what, if I'm on I invite him to an NBA camp. It wouldn't shock me if he makes a team, because wherever he goes and whatever he does, his team's going to win.
Anything else, guys?